Oh, hello, YouTube. Today on The Naughty Librarian, we are reacting to the teaser for Season 3 of Interview with the Vampire. So as far as the book, The Vampire Lestat goes, about 90% of it is Lestat writing his autobiography, kind of in response to Interview with the Vampire. Basically, after the last time that Lestat saw Louis, he got really sad, and he took a sadness nap for like 30 years. And then he wakes up, it's 1987, and he sees this book, Interview with the Vampire, and he's like, oh, let's read this. Oh, Louis. What? Louis, you lying bitch. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna set the record straight on some things because Louis was creative in his representation of the past. So that covers 90% of the book. That other 10% of the book is Lestat deciding to be a rock star on a whim. Like I mentioned before, Lestat took a sadness nap. He wakes up, it's 1987, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go make music. Boop, boop, boop. Calls up his lawyer. He's like, hey, I need you to get me like recording equipment and I want you to promote my album. It's not out yet. I'm making it right now. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. Just give me money. And because Lestat has the strongest plot armor that's ever existed, and he's just a very lucky person, well, it works out for him. And Lestat is a legit rock star, and he is doing his rock star fantasy. On record, I have said Lestat would do glam rock. Even though it was 1987 and glam rock was kind of on its way out, if not already out of fashion, I'm like, he would bring it back. And guess what? Lestat is bringing back glam rock, and it's great. Like, glitter and blood is an aesthetic, you know? So, like, I don't even have words, I just have sounds because I'm so excited about seeing him as a rock star. All right, so let's get into the teaser. So it starts off with Lestat's stand-in just sitting there, you know, to get the lighting right, and we hear off-screen Daniel talking about this is going to be a documentary about Lestat. And you know what? I know I publicly said this. It would be a cool idea for season 3 for Lestat to show up to Daniel and be like, hey, Daniel, would you like to do another interview, kind of a thing. And I don't know exactly how this came about, but it seems to be doing that same idea because Eric Bogosian is Daniel. Oh my gosh, everyone loves him. He's so great as Daniel. He's way cooler in the show than he is in the book, so I would love to see Daniel incorporated into the story. And finally, the man of the hour shows up. Lestat, he walks in the door, and he is exuding all of his Brat Prince energy. So Brat Prince is like his nickname, what people kind of, I would go so far as to say affectionately refer to him as in the books, because he's a brat and he's a prince and he gets away with whatever he wants. So he walks in, the king of Big Dick Island, and has a seat. And before they really get started with the interview, Daniel, you hear him like coughing up a lung, which is wild for a vampire because they don't get sick. What would he be coughing on? And actually, I have a theory about that, and I'm not sure how they're going to handle this in the show, but in the book, in the background, you keep hearing like reports of mysterious, like spontaneous combustion, especially among older vampires and younger ones too, just vampires in general, just spontaneous combustion all over the place. So I'm not sure if that is supposed to be like a precursor to that plot line, like maybe it's like a plague instead of burnings, because burnings are a lot to like do on camera. The special effects budget. It would make more sense maybe if it's like a plague or something. I don't know, but I think that's the vibe. But it's time to start the interview. The guy comes in with the slate, and I saw like this cool little Easter egg here that I don't know if any of you guys saw, but let me know in the comments. The person with the slate, he has this tattoo on his forearm, and it says, Armand told the truth. In the world of the show, the books exist, so therefore people would be fans of the book, and a lot of bookish people get bookish tattoos. I get it. However, this is giving me the whole, like, Twilight Team Edward, Team Jacob thing. And I don't want them to do that. But I thought that was an interesting little addition there. I'm like, ooh, what's going to go on? It'd be an easy way to reincorporate Armand. Obviously, I think they're, like, putting it out there that he's going to be there this season. But moving on. The cameras are rolling. Nothing's really happening yet in the interview because, you know, Daniel's coughing up a lung. So Lestat ooh, just exudes all of the energy. So he just kind of takes over the interview, and the camera just starts zooming in, and like you can hear them speaking in the background, like, what's going on? What's going on? I think he's doing it. And it's just, ooh, bring me into your presence, sir. Yes. And he just says, I'm the vampire Lestat. I'm immortal. Some things could kill me, like the heat of the sun. Intense sustained fire could kill him, but also, you know what? They might not, which is very true for the books. Every time you hear of something that kills vampires, it doesn't always kill them. Like, frankly, even decapitation, nope. If you stick the head and the body back together soon enough, they'll survive. So, really nothing. Okay? I think it comes down to more so their willingness in the whole thing to want to die. So that's my take on it anyways. But since this is a teaser, we're not really getting any more like factoids about the season or any more lines really. We just get that needle drop and we get to hear an original song. They made original music for the show. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm gonna be listening to those on Spotify nonstop once they come out. And another bonus point here is that Sam Reed can sing a little bit, and he is actually performing these songs. So, that being said, I think during the show we will get concert footage. We're gonna get to see Lestat actually sing rock songs, and oh my God, I am not okay. I'm so excited. So while the song is playing, we have little intercuts come back and forth with like different vibes for Lestat, because I'm assuming it's gonna be similar to the Louis interview where each day is a different session. So we have Lestat, he's crying sometimes, and then he's depressed, he has shocked expressions, he's laughing, and then he has this whole lunch moment where he's just like drinking blood off his hands. So overall, this whole season is going to be a whirlwind, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. After all of that, the song fades out, the clips stop, you just get the new logo, and it's actually really cool, albeit simplistic. So this season is going to be so extra, but in a good way, with Lestat being the narrator, because Lestat has never seen a red flag in his life. He is like the most all the time, and I love that. All right, so that was it for the teaser. And overall, I think the book, The Vampire Lestat, could be adapted like all as one season, because we had 2 seasons doing Interview the Vampire, so we've seen a lot of his history there. We don't really need to rehash that again. And also, it would make more sense if they're gonna have a season 4 to have it end the way the book ends and then lead directly into the next book in the next season. So I'm gonna make some predictions. Let's go. These are very, very early predictions. First, let's go over new characters. They have to introduce a few characters in particular because they're quite important to the story. One, Marius. We're finally gonna get Marius. He is an ancient Roman scholar turned into a vampire in ancient times, like before Christianity, like really old. And he's Armand's maker, and he and Lestat spend quite a bit of time together, and he is also the keeper of those who must be kept, which is Enkel and Akasha, the king and queen of the damned. And Marius is such a big part of Lestat's story in general. He's like Lestat's vampire daddy. Like, he didn't make Lestat, but like he's taught him everything he knows about being a vampire, and like Lestat thinks Marius is like the most smart, responsible vampire he's ever met in his life. So he has nothing but respect for Marius. And I've mentioned Akasha a few times here, so I think she's going to be introduced more so in this story. I don't know how much active participation she'll have, but she'll definitely be referenced more. We might get to see her like a first look, because when we first see her in the books, she is so old that she has kind of become like a living statue. Like, frankly, you can find dirt that's younger than her. Like, she is like the oldest thing. And also, big deal here, she's actually the very first vampire to ever exist and the originator of the species. Also, low-key, she's a complete Lestat stan. So important for her to be there. And maybe this one's just for me, but I really want to see David Talbot get introduced into the story because he has so much to do with Lestat later on in books. But David Talbot, at this point in the story, he's an older man, and he is the head of the Talamasca. And I know they're doing a Talamasca show, so I'm assuming they're going to bring him in. And he and Lestat are like buddies, even though Lestat is incorrigible, but like brat prince, you know, David finds it charming. So I really want those characters to be introduced. As for events I think are coming this season, number one, Lestat and Louis are finally going to reconcile because that happens in the book. Lestat, Louis, back together boyfriends. I think we're going to hear a lot more about the mysterious deaths around the world, either from plagues or burnings. Definitely, that's going to have to be in the background and like a mystery. Also, Lestat's gonna live his rock star fantasy. I would love concert footage. I'm pretty sure they can't tease Sam Reed actually singing original songs and then not do them in the show. So we're gonna get concert footage. Oh, I'm so happy. And also, okay, you know when I said he was having like lunch and he was eating blood off his hands? I have a prediction for that in particular because Lestat is like being a rock star. He's very public. He's like, I'm a vampire, sup? And remember when like Louis was like the subject of a book and everybody shit a brick? All of the vampires all over the world are just telepathically talking shit. Well, in the book, these vampires are equally or even more so mad at Lestat because he's putting his face out there. And lots of angry vampires come after him. I'm thinking maybe we're gonna get some cool vampire fights? I don't know, that might be a thing, especially because he's licking blood off his hands. I'm like, what if it happened on set and he just like ended a vampire drinking his blood? Ooh, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I would love it to happen. I think Armand, we're definitely gonna see him a little bit in like the periphery of the show. In the books at least, like Armand spent years stalking Daniel. So I think he's gonna be living his stalker fantasy. And I think the season will end exactly how the book ends. Lestat, he's doing his big concert and he and Louis are finally back together, and then Lestat whoosh, gets sucked up into the sky because he's being kidnapped by Akasha. Like I said, she's a big Lestat stan. She wants him to be her consort because she just got divorced essentially, and she's like, sup Lestat. So she takes him, and then we go into the Queen of the Damned, which is kind of like her reign of terror with Lestat in tow. There is so much that could happen this season, and I don't know where they're gonna go. We only have a teaser, so thank you, Comic-Con. But yeah, I am living for this. I am so excited for legit rockstar Lestat. I know we have a movie kind of about this, the Queen of the Damned movie. And you know what? I don't believe in guilty pleasures, okay? I unapologetically like that movie. I know it's a bad movie. I don't care. I still like it. But now I think we're gonna get that movie, but good. So I'm very excited. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you hyped for season 3? What kind of stuff are you expecting to see in there? What would you like to see in the season? Let me know. Let's all speculate in the comments. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. If you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And if you want cool exclusive content, including early access to videos or a book club, you can consider becoming a channel member or a patron. Links for that are in the description down below. And on that note, I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.